And I'm just getting at there's a difference between also secretaries of state or former secretaries and staff at lower levels.
First, a word on what you just heard, and kudos to Matt Lee of the AP, who's been on this case. Miss Psaki suggested that secretaries at that level, they might not be subject to the same rules as staffers. That is false. The rules specifically point out that presidential appointees must also follow the protocols. Second, she says she also couldn't find this form for Mrs. Clinton's predecessors, Colin Powell and Condoleezza Rice. Okay, but the issue was never, is Mrs. Clinton signing all the forms she's supposed to be signing? The issue has been whether Hillary certified that she produced a bunch of documents that we know she did not produce. This is about Mrs. Clinton and what she certified under penalty of perjury. Now we're told she never said that she returned all the public records. And of course we know she could never have honestly signed that form. But here's the real point. OF 109 makes clear, if you are keeping federal records at your house, you're committing a felony. So if she had signed it, we would have proof that she knew what she was doing was illegal. Now that we're told she didn't sign the form, does that prove she didn't know she wasn't entitled to keep the documents? Well, that'll be up to the public to decide. Hillary Clinton, a graduate of Yale Law School, who was First Lady in the White House for 8 years, who's an accomplished attorney, was Secretary of State, and who even had someone fired in part for not complying with federal record-keeping requirements. Did that Hillary Clinton know it was illegal to conceal these records for 6 years? If she did, she appears to have committed a crime. And that's what I tried to explain to Fox News' own Juan Williams today on The Five.
I still think it's the case that she broke no law. I think that's what all of this...
But you don't know.
We got to find a document, we got to do this, we got to do that. People are so afraid of her on the Republican side, they're just trying to tear her down.
But how do you say that? If the law says that it is a violation to willfully conceal your records...
The people at the Federal Records Act say she broke no law. What we're looking at is
listen, I'm an attorney, and Shannon Coffin is an attorney who worked in the White House, and I'm telling you, I looked at the law, and I believe there's obviously room for disagreement on this.
I don't think you broke any law, and I think that, by the way...
Based on what? I'm telling you the standard is willful concealment.
There's no willful concealment that you can prove. So, I mean, the question... I don't think there's a prosecutor in America.
How can it not be proved? She had 30,000 documents, 60,000 documents. You asked me a question, I'm answering it. She's got all the documents on her computer. FOIA requests are coming in. Congressional demands are coming in. Litigation requests are coming in. She doesn't produce any of the documents. How is that not concealment?
It's no concealment. She said she had nothing classified, and she said
That's
even
a different
worse.
question.
She said nothing sensitive in anything that she wrote.
That's a different question. Joining us now, the man who first broke this story, Shannon Coffin, former counsel to Vice President Dick Cheney and a former DOJ Civil Division Assistant Deputy Attorney General. Shannon, good to see you.
Hey, happy St. Patrick's Day.
And to you. And so let's just start with where I left off with Juan. The law is clear. Separate and apart from OF 109, which now we know she dodged, or they just didn't offer to her, the law is clear. And I refer the audience to 18 U.S. Code, Section 2071B. Look at it. Whoever having the custody of any federal record willfully and unlawfully conceals, removes, or destroys the same shall be fined or imprisoned or both, and listen, and shall be disqualified from holding any office under the United States. If she willfully concealed these emails, not only did she commit a crime, she cannot be president. So the stakes are rather high.
Absolutely. I wrote about that particular statute on National Review Online several weeks ago when this story broke. And it is a statute that quite plainly says that the custodian of a record, who Hillary Clinton would be in this case, can't conceal or destroy it. Now, she certainly has a concealment problem when she's hiding the existence of at least 30,000 records. She might have a destruction problem given this strange review process that her lawyers went through, which resulted apparently in the deletion of 31,000 records.
To people like Juan, who continue to say she committed no crime, there's no evidence she committed a crime, you say what?
well, there's evidence that would at least raise questions about whether she's committed a crime. That crime depends upon state of mind, which is willfulness, and willfulness requires, A, that you know that what you're doing is wrong, and you know that it's a crime as well. Now, that's an issue that a prosecutor would have to look into, and what evidence you have. But you pointed out some of the evidence that she was basically letting go one of her ambassadors for doing something very similar, setting up a private email system in an embassy.